Hey Sneak Peekers, we're here at Austin Film Festival for the premiere of Season 2 of Counterpart.
Counterpart, I always wanted to do a Cold War show because I had read so many espionage books growing up, and I just felt like there was still a story to tell there, but I was not a spy during the Cold War and didn't have any of those experiences that so many of my favorite writers did. So I knew if we were going to do it, I wanted to do something of my own, and I love science fiction, but I like science fiction when it feels human, and so the idea of merging the two by doing a Berlin Wall thriller and turning the Berlin Wall into a metaphysical construct became very exciting, and so that it sort of evolved from there. The idea of what if two people were sitting on a bench having a conversation about their side and the other side, and when they were talking about the other side, they were talking about a completely different world, but we treated it like a real world, like our world. That was fun.
I think thematically, that's one of the things I really love about it, is getting to explore those themes over and over again with first with one character, and then you might meet their counterpart and figure out what version of this person they are. And I really love the Claire Quayle relationship, so that's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, the character Claire has been sort of special to me. I wrote episode 7 of the first season, which is her whole backstory. So that's really my favorite piece of the show to write. But I also think on a more personal level, the people, like getting to work for somebody like Justin and Erin, who really have empowered the writers to bring their voice to the show. And I think that it's made us all better writers, and it's made us all better producers. And I think we'll carry that with us beyond Counterpart.
So out of all of this shows that you have created and done, what has been your favorite?
I mean, I'm very proud of Counterpart. I'm proud of it because it's hard to do original stuff in this world, stuff that isn't based on something else, and I've written on those movies too, and had fun doing that stuff, whether it's the Jungle Book or the Top Gun sequel or this terrible Street Fighter movie that I worked on, but so I've seen the restrictions that you have when you're dealing with a property, and to be able to just say, no, this is our show, this is our character, we can do it the way we want to do it, is such a breath of fresh air in the way the business is today. So I would definitely say Counterpart. Getting to walk on set the first day, we had approved the sets long before, but to sort of walk into the strategy bullpen, the main set, and to see this world and to know that not a bit of it existed before we put in the work to build it from nothing was a rare thrill. It's like a walk through your own imagination, and that's great. A TV show is a marriage. It's a relationship. It's years and years and years of convincing someone to continue to show up and believe in the creative and want to know what the creative is. So to do that, you're building out so much more than just what the characters are in that moment. You're trying to sort of find out where they might go in a few years or where they might not go. And one of the best things I think we do on our show is we never decide firmly we want to do something with a character. We turn cards up on the table and we say, oh, that would be an interesting thing maybe. If that happened to that person at some point, maybe not this year, or maybe we'll shoot for it, we didn't get there, we'll do it next year, and you just really sort of commit to that process of like having the ideas open and not being too, in a movie, you can be very restrictive about the way you see a plot turn. In television, I think you should always be willing to throw it out at a moment's notice and go to something else, because there's so many other different factors contributing to every moment of the show that you have to be flexible.
So is there any advice that you have for young filmmakers at UT, or just in general of like how to be able to have the confidence to get out there?
Yeah, I think the best thing that, and I know UT's film program pretty well, the best thing that the film program can offer anyone, and I know this only because I never went to one, is the community. Until the writer's room for Counterpart, I never had a community, of other creatives who are around me, who I could learn from, who I could build off of, who I could lean on for support. The best, most useful thing is not going to be that you get out of film school. It's not going to be a degree. It's not going to be a job. It's going to be the people around you who you will work with someday. So to build that community now and not later.
I actually think right now is a really good time to come into the industry as a woman, because there's been so much progress happening since people have realized how how women and people of color haven't been getting the same opportunities, and so people are actually looking for women and people of color now, and it's it's about time, really, because you're putting out shows that are supposed to represent different walks of life, and if you don't have those different walks of life represented in the writer's room or in other places, in acting and directing, all that kind of stuff, then how can you actually represent it?
Yeah. And I think also, reaching out to other women and helping other women and being collaborative, I think that it comes around. And I've been really lucky. I had some wonderful female mentors who just took a liking to me and really helped me. And that's something that I would want to do for somebody in the future when I was in a position to do that. But no, I think that I won't say networking, because I think that's a kind of an ugly word and it feels false. But I think that making friends and connecting with people is a really good way to get into the industry and continue to move within it.